and welcome to the Sanitarium, Level 2. My name is Aaron, aka Grishno. We are currently in the region of Blackenbury, working our way through the Sanitarium. And last time we found out some really interesting information about our mage. So if you missed that episode, go check it out. It's really worthwhile. But we also made it to the Sanitarium, which is a huge map. And so we are going to continue our journey through the Sanitarium today in this episode of Pillars of Eternity. We're going to check out this door and see what's going on in here.
Yeah.
Looks like Modred is in here. An animancer scribbles feverishly on a parchment scroll while his free hand dances through the air, counting off unseen objects. His lips move in silent discourse. As your shadow falls over his scrolls, he looks up at you with mingled perplexity and irritation.
Hey,
Can I help you? He forces a polite smile. What are you working on? My area of focus is wits. More specifically, how to cure them. What's a witch? A hollowborn who receives a transplanted animal soul during infancy. One of the Animancy's earliest efforts to cure the legacy, if not a successful one. Okay, that's an interesting thing to do, I guess. Put animal souls into hollowborn. He removes his spectacles and wipes his brow. They show signs of developmental abnormalities throughout their childhood, but when they reach adolescence, they become more aggressive, feral, still victims in need of care. Clearly, victims, not positive about the care, not sure what the good solution here is. Transplanting animal souls into children seems like an odd solution. We, Animancers, were trying to do something about the crisis. Better than letting it swallow a generation of children. So I guess he's trying to say is that their heart was in a good place, I guess. And despite the controversy, it only went so far because at first it seemed to work. People called it the salvation. Children that had never been responsive to any kind of stimuli suddenly became aware of their surroundings, of their families. Okay, but I mean, they don't have they have an animal soul, so they're like a pet. The complications don't begin until puberty, apparently. But we paid dearly for our mistake, he says. I promise you, angry mobs hunted down Animancers and burned down their homes, with them still inside. Grieving mother, our cipher, she's popping up. A grotesque manipulation, a desperate solution for a desperate problem, and the parents were broken-hearted, betrayed. She closes her eyes and seems to recede from you for a moment, but it was important to try something, was it not? To bring hope, even for a little while? She falls silent. People took to calling it the cruel salvation, and many still loathe us for it, but we wanted to stop the legacy as much as anyone. The public begged for our help, and we did the best that we could. I still don't know if we absolved us. Why do you study witches? He huffs. What kind of question is that? Just think of all the families that could be healed, the lives that could be restored. What could be more important? His face is reddened, and he turns away for a moment, and he shakes his head. Animancy has an answer here, I know it. It's simply a matter of working it out. Our cipher pipes up. She reaches out as if to put a hand on Modrin's cheek. Such pain, Watcher, and such determination. I see. Good. He looks eager to return to his work. I'm just looking around. Then be quick about it and don't touch anything. The sanatorium has a lax visitor policy, but I don't. Without another word, he resumes his work.
Just say the word.
All right, thank you for the visit. We will be on our way. We have a couple more doors here. We do have some guards. And this seems to be unlocked. That requires the property key. Can we talk to you? Sometimes we get trouble people in here trying to make trouble for the animancers. Okay. I wouldn't mind being better armed so that if we make the clients a little nervous. If we need to attack him, that's good information. I never thought I'd be taking orders from a talking statue. There's a talking statue? Did we miss that upstairs? We must have. If you're here for a client, you want to be talking to an animator, not me. That's fair. I'd like to get back to my watch. Alright, they're just repeating themselves now. So this also requires a property key, but it looks like we can get in this door to our left. So let's see what's in here. Almost nothing. There is a little icon. The edges of the cages are dented and scored with claw marks. And we can't open that. And we definitely can't open that. We need the property key. And unfortunately, we don't have it. That does mean a lot of this area is going to be left unexplored for now. But we're gonna go look at this talking statue. So, we're heading back upstairs. It's a little bit nicer than downstairs. There is a statue here, and we can't talk to it. Head Warden Ethelmore. Okay. I thought we were in the office earlier, I guess. I didn't realize that this was a statue. A well-maintained statue of a middle-aged man presides over the room, looking down unblinking over the bustle of harried academics pestered by the hopeful desperate. A strong warmth emanates from it that you could sense from across the room. There is a human soul stored beneath this stonework. You feel its attention turned towards you. It has been some time since a watcher graced these halls. His voice echoes deeply, rumbling the floor beneath you. I'm envious of your natural insight, traveler. I can only imagine how it might have helped my work in my life. Now, what is it that brought you to my sanatorium? You may have a member of the Lane Key in your midst, so that's something I'd like to ask about. He says, I could have done without hearing that today. Alright, sounds like he's heard some other things. Many have their intrusions been into our affairs. Of course, one can seldom be certain whether they're meddling or whether calamity has struck on its own, but a few of their less skilled infiltrators have been exposed from time to time. They are a perpetual nuisance. They have something I need. I hope it isn't knowledge you seek. They seldom are keen to part with it. Do you have some idea of who this person might be? I haven't been reading people's souls. I've been clicking on them, but I haven't been reading them, so I don't think I have the information. So I'd say I would know if I met them, but I don't know exactly who it is at this moment. Very well, says the statue. In any case, I would recommend you speak first with our resident animancers. They have frequent interactions with both patients and colleagues. You'll find them up here or in the offices downstairs. Okay. You will report anything suspicious to me immediately. This is my only request. It seems reasonable. We could ask how they became a statue. We could ask more about the Sanitarium. And we could ask if anyone knows about the awakening. Looks like they do say that there's someone on the lower floor. That's probably who we talked to. Tell me about the Sanitarium. Looks like he's giving us a history lesson about this thing. That's wonderful. It's very long. I'm curious how he became into his present state. As a statue, he means, well, I'm old, and looks like he spent his, looks like he died. He was old and he died. But they stored his soul because they're animancers, and they deal with souls in this statue. Very well. Thanks, statue. Alright, so now we need to question the animancers about suspicious activity. And we do have a few animancers here. So he tells us a little bit about what animancer means. This animancer straightens his robes and gives you a nod. Okay, that's interesting, sure. Feel free to look around. You might be able to see a demonstration. I already saw one, thanks. What do you have to say? You're welcome to browse. The spread of knowledge is a healthy thing. Don't you agree? I guess. Sure. Are there any other animancers here that we can speak to? I think there were some in the main office. No, just the nobles. What about up here in this room? Let's just check and then we'll head downstairs. See if we can find any suspicious activity there. Alright. We'll take the whole group with us.
Just say the word.
And we'll head downstairs. And see what we can find. Let's head down this hallway. Back to where we came from earlier. We're now where we began the episode. So we did talk to Belsog last time. Doesn't look like there's anything to say here. She does just say that she's busy. We already talked to Modred.
Well met, Fred.
Doesn't look like he has anything new. I'll be on my way. We did earn a little addendum, I guess, with the knowledge. Was this open before? This was locked. That seems suspicious.
Just say the word.
Hi, Ripley.
Gods keep you.
A young Orlan woman traces her fingers along the spines of books in front of her. Row by row, her motion quick and skittish, like a bird. She does not notice you until you are nearly upon her. Oh my, you startle me. Are you supposed to be in here? I'm investigating any suspicious activity in the Sanitarium. Oh, I'm just Master Ozo's assistant. Okay, so we haven't heard much about Master Ozo. He know more about that, but he's in the middle of an busy with some patients. You won't be able to see him until he comes out of the patient's ward. Okay, great. If there's nothing else you need, I'll get back to my work. Is Azo busy with patients, or is he running some sort of experiment? I'm just his assistant. I'm not in any place to gossip. I'm sorry. Okay. You're the one who started the gossip, though, so don't fumble your words and expect me not to question you about it. How do I get to the patient's ward? Only Master Azo has access. I guess Head Warden Ethomore does too, but he's, a statue now. Okay, so there's two people who have the key. What do you do here? Mostly help Master Azo set up and clean his equipment. I'm looking for an expert in the awakening. Farewell. So we need to talk to Ethelmore
Just say the
about
word.
Azo. Pretty sure that means going back upstairs. Which means heading back to these stairs. And we'll just go fast. Here we go! I hope you like this load screen because we have been getting a lot of it. So let's find Ethelmore.
Hello.
Hey, statue. Have you learned anything of interest? He asks. Maybe. Is Cademan Azos running experiments on patients here? Head Warden Ethelmore. Experiments? Cademan Azos is in charge of patients' welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. I am disappointed in Cademan. I'd hoped he would be the one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in his office or in the patient ward. I am granting you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you will wish to speak to him further on this matter, and I, for one, am curious as to what he might say. Tread carefully in the ward. There are a few dangerous cases. I would ask that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have enough trouble as it is.
Just say the word.
Farewell. And we'll investigate the patient's ward. Which I believe, you guessed it, means sitting on this loading screen for a moment. But that's okay, it gives me a chance to grab a drink of water. Which is important. So we're gonna head back to the patient's ward, and they open it up right away. Head Warden says you're to go in. Be careful in there.
I shall be discreet.
We will be discreet. This is where they keep their patients. Let's talk to Froyle. A curved spine twists this woman's posture forward. Her greasy hair draped over her large eyes like vines. She smiles at you. You must be visiting someone. Then, noting your appearance, she adds, a friendly visit, I hope. What do you know about this Animancer Azos? Oh, I like him very much. Many Animancers could care less about their patients, look at us like vermin for their experiments, but Master Azo treats us like humans, even the very sick. You can tell he does this to help people. What happened to Azos? Where'd he go? They don't like to talk about it, but there was an accident. Her eyes dart back and forth, and her voice lowers to just above a whisper. He was said to be one of the brightest in Briarwood. That was his reputation here, and that was what brought me to seek treatment. The point is, I was going to help with the legacy. It was going to make Hollowborns into something easier to love and care for. God knows that's something we need to do. Do you know what they call some empty little babies in Andra's gift? No. Tell me. They call them boys because so many of them are fond of floating face down, they call them buoys because so many of them are found floating face down in the water. These are mad times. Our cipher pops up. Her hands fly to her ears, and her mouth frames a silent scream. Only her mind speaks. Evil that magnifies tragedy, that is what we must stop. Royale says, Master Azos has scheduled a public demonstration of his work in Copperland. He was so excited. Do you know where I might find Azos? I would like to go and talk to him. I think I've seen him around today. Have you checked the laboratory? It shares a wall with his office. He's been spending most of his time there lately. Have any of the patients here been acting unusual? Well, there's Batixa, who revived a murderer she committed more than 5 lifetimes ago. Relived a murder. Okay. Different from normal behavior, I mean. It doesn't seem like there's been much. Would I be able to visit the North Ward? They like to keep us separated. I don't know what I've seen the guards allow for a visitor, just Master Azo. You might ask him. He's very sympathetic. It sounds like the North Ward is not a pleasant area to be. She's telling us a little bit about her backstory, about how she got here. But I think we're just gonna take her at her word and thank her for her time. So we're gonna head a little bit deeper.
Leave it to me.
Flesh construct. The construct turns its head towards you and watches warily. I see why the guard was talking about wanting some to be armed a little bit. Flesh construct. These things don't look to be particularly friendly. Some lockpicks there, but I don't want to get in a fight with anyone. It says, keep your distance. Witches in the cells back there. Okay, so I warn you once. After that, it's your skin. Sounds like it might get a little dangerous. But that's fine. We'll explore down this way. There is a door. We can see where this goes. Seems to be some sort of library. We can steal. And I think we're gonna do it. Let's check the wine rack. And definitely take the money, take the potion of minor recovery. I think that's gonna go to our tank. We'll leave the book. We don't need the book. But thank you. Hi, nothing going on here. There's a door here. Doesn't seem like there's any way for us to get past it at the moment. This hallway seems to be a dead end. We do have a little bit more that we can explore in this main room. So let's take a look in here. There are a lot of patients. There's some beer in there. That's great. Crooked chalk tally marks cover the surface of this table. It seems like people have probably been here for a long time. This is not somewhere I'd want to spend time, honestly. And given that we know that they've been putting animal souls into human bodies, you know, I'm a little worried about what we might find. Looks like there's a lot of sciencey sort of equipment. Something churns and bubbles in this tank.
I'll give it a try, at least.
Let's lockpick this open. Wow, a unique one-handed mace with damage reduction. This may actually go to our tank. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. A copper wire and conduits are shiny. The device is warm and smooth to the touch.
Just say the word.
Azo is down here.
Leave it to me.
This is him. Can he see us?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Let's talk to him. A round face, balding man turns to face you. His upper lip is pulled upward, slightly by his pointed nose, exposing his upper teeth when he scowls.
What is the meaning of this?
That's some voice you got there. I'd like access to the North Ward. Out of the question, he says. These patients are in isolation for a reason. We have a special option that we can choose. Because our perception is over 13, we can say your forehead seems stamps all of a sudden. Perhaps I should discuss your insubordination with the head warden. So in this instance, it pays to be perceptive, and I think that is the option that we're going to choose.
You smug cretin. How dare you come down here and meddle? You have no idea the importance of my research.
I hope you could hear that. He balls up his fists and digs his teeth into his index finger, a growl simmering beneath his teeth and a deep scowl compressing his face. He doesn't like it.
Speak to them for all the good it'll do you. I'm sure the discussions will be fascinating.
Okay. He seemed really angry about that. He pulls a heavy key from one of his pockets and nearly slams it down on the floor before handing it to you. This must be how we get in the North Ward. We have a few different options of things that we could say. Ethelmore told me you're not supposed to be doing any more experiments, which is true. I heard you were demoted. How did that happen? That's just being mean. I'm looking for an expert in the awakening. We already found one. We're fine with the awakening. But I heard that you weren't supposed to do any more experience. Yes, well, Ethelmore hasn't done much good for anybody since he had moved his soul to an inanimate object. This guy's really angry. So I fail to see why I should let that sway me. If animancers all follow that command of their leader, where would we be? We would all be as backwards and willfully ignorant as Red Ceres. I don't know who that is. We would know nothing about life or death, or even ourselves. We would be lost in the dark with no clue as to why. Aloth, speaking up, our mage from the back. I never thought I'd find myself in agreement with a statue, but Ethelmore's right about this fellow at least. He sneers at Azos. How easily ambition masquerades as prudence. I'll bet he fooled even himself. This guy does not like Master Azo. We have a few different things we could say. You toy with things beyond our comprehension. It's dangerous and foolish, so we can criticize him. It seems to me we're still in the dark. That's sort of being wishy-washy. Sure, there are other paths that don't involve risking lives. Or surely there aren't other paths that don't involve risking lives. You're right about that much. There is certainly questions that have to be asked. I have no interest in arguing about this. Let's just sort of criticize his work.
Are you Widewin himself risen to smite me for my heretical belief in learning who I am and why I exist? Please. You are afraid because men have taught you to be afraid. Because they were taught to be afraid. These things are only beyond our comprehension because of the fears of people like you.
Again, I hope you heard that.
Solve Widewin's legacy. Some church, some warrior. It will be an animancer, or it will be no one at all.
He really seems to be into this animancy thing. Have you heard of your experiments? Have you tried your experiments on any other subjects? I have, yes, he says. No point in lying about it now that Ethelmore is involved. I asked for volunteers from our patients, and a few brave souls came forward. I'm very close at one time to a breakthrough. They understood that. They understood their sacrifice would mean something. And we did actually speak to somebody earlier who had that very same point of view. I heard you were demoted. Let's just ask. That's none of your concern, he says. Did one of the others put you up to this? Ardmore? That smug weasel. Things went wrong. Everything... I don't know how. I'll never know. He spins on the floor as if to remove a bitter taste from his mouth, where he spits. Thank you very much, and farewell. Addendum added, the man who waits.
Just say the word.
So that was really interesting. There's some churning, bubbling liquid in there. Copper
Leave it to
wires
me.
again. Looks like we can get back to the North Ward. We're just gonna poke around down here really quick. Looks like these are just cells. Not too much going on in here. There is a patient.
Yeah.
It seems that it says Master Azos would make me well soon. I've been hearing screams at night. Some more patients. A flesh construct. We might be running into a dead end down here, but that's okay.
What's this?
Let's go check out, and I hope I'm going to the right area, but let's go check out this door and see if we can actually get in to the north end. But it looks like we have fully explored this area, all of these cells. This seems to be the sleeping quarters. And again, just noticing the difference between the main floor and even the basement where the animancers live, and then looking at where the patients stay, really just does not make me feel very good about this place.
Yeah.
Let's talk to this guy. He says, I'm on duty. You want to be friendly? Buy me an ale. I don't understand. How do I get to the North Ward? It's right here.
Leave it to me.
I would like to go. Alright, I may have to do a little bit of looking into this. There is a door here. You can see that door. But we have been able to actually explore a fair amount of the sanatorium. This floor has been really a lot of work to move into. Maybe this is where we can go. Let's check that really quick, just before we end the episode, just to see if this is the right spot. This is a door, unlocked with the North Ward key. It is unlocked. So we can actually go into the North Ward. But at this point, I think we are going to end the episode. So I hope that you have enjoyed.
I shall be discreet.
We will be discreet. But I hope that you've enjoyed the episode. Click the like button if you did. Remember to subscribe if you'd like to see more from the channel.
say the
And
word.
until next time, I'm Grishno, and do a thing.
Just say the word.
There we go. See you later.